Today we are going to talk about social inclusion. When we talk about social inclusion, it simply means there has been exclusion. Social exclusion is that system that does not allow individuals or groups to fully participate and harness their potentials in the society. It is an evil wind that blows no one any good. In line with United Nations 2030 agenda, which says that nobody should be left behind, we must ensure that everyone is carried along by eliminating this evil among us called social exclusion. And that is why we must talk about inclusion. Like I told you earlier, our topic today is social inclusion. Don't forget to like this channel, subscribe to it, turn on your notification bell, like and share it so that other people will see it. I want to also use this opportunity to appeal to our excellencies who are here to adopt and domesticate the Discrimination Against Persons with Disability Provision Act to quickly do that, adopt and domesticate it in their states so that we have a legal framework running in all our states in Nigeria. Have you been listening to us? Which of our topics strikes you most? Let's feel your pulse. Drop your comment right in the comment box down below. Let's know what you think about our topics. Which of them is your favorite? Thank you once again for joining my program. So let's quickly go to the topic of the day. If people are agitating for inclusion, there must be some areas where people has been excluded from the scheme of things. Social inclusion is instituting a system that will enable everyone to participate in the activities of life fully in order to enable them harness their full potentials. It simply means putting an enabling environment that will enable people to participate and be able to bring out the best in them in order to attain their goals in life. Globally, individuals or groups encounter barriers that prevent them from participating in the social, economic, and political activities in life. Social discrimination cuts across gender, it cuts across occupation, ethnicity, status, religious beliefs, and the likes. It does not blow anybody any good. And so discrimination must be discouraged in whatever form it is. Social discrimination robs people of their right, their dignity, and prevents them from taking hold of opportunities to enable them harness their full potentials in life. And that is why we must go against it, no matter what form it comes from. You and I know that our attitude affects wherever we are, because institutions are manned by individuals, and our individual attitudes affects the society and the institutions we control. So however you perceive anything or anybody determines how you relate with that person. If for instance you have a negative perception concerning anyone, it then means that that person have to struggle to get whatever he or she needs in life. And that is the case of persons with disabilities. Because over the time, a lot of factors have worked against the participation of persons with disability in the society. And these barriers range from attitude, cultural and religious beliefs. You have infrastructural barriers. You can name them. You see, when you come to beliefs, some people believe that whenever somebody is facing a challenge, disability for example, they believe that that person must have committed a sin either in the present life or in the past life, and so the gods are after the person. And that makes such people who have such intuition to be running away from people with disabilities. And when people see you in that light and run away from you, it affects your dignity. And it also results to low self-esteem, depression, which makes people to tend to isolate themselves from others. When somebody is under such a condition, it becomes difficult for that person to express himself properly, because even people around are not willing to mingle with such a person. And even yourself, the inferiority complex will now be high. So for us to allow people to be able to express themselves irrespective of the condition they find themselves, then we must eliminate discrimination in whatever form. We also know that architectural designs inhibit people from participating in the society. Because if there's a place you need to attend, but the structure of the way the place is designed cannot allow you access, it becomes a problem. Over the time, you see people being carried to cross. Most of our buildings in the cities, name them, Abuja, Lagos, the big cities, you will see a lot of steps. From the entrance, you start climbing stairs, which makes it difficult for people on crutches, wheelchair, and there are some people that even crawl. They will find it difficult to access. Most of the time, you see people carrying, plenty men will come and lift somebody on wheelchair so that the person will access a building. Some will have to back you across. That place an able-bodied person can jump over will become a heavy hill for persons with disability to cross. There are certain things that need to be put in place so that persons with disability will be free in life, that life will become easier for us. So all these barriers tend to prevent persons with disability from fully making from fully accessing uh, educational structures, health institutions, and the likes. For example, when you go to our schools, primary, secondary, even our tertiary institutions, you meet some of them are upstairs, and there is no provision for lift in those schools. Okay, take for example now somebody who is on wheelchair wants to attend that primary school or secondary or tertiary institution, and the classroom is upstairs, no lift. How can such a person access the classroom? That means that that person has to, every time he wants to go to class, beg people to help me go up. How dehumanizing is this? Also, when you go to our health institutions, some of them have very very poor entrance. These things should be put in place, redesigned to accommodate the disabled persons, because we need to access those facilities. You see, the issue of accessibility cannot be overemphasized. No matter how much we say it, no matter how much we hammer on it, we need to continue saying it until everything is brought to normal. They also need to put some things in place like audio devices that will tend to give the visually impaired information as to where they are going and where they are and where to access. Vital information should be placed in the right format to suit every disabilities. Sign interpreters should be mounted in every public office, whether in the health institution or ordinary offices. As far as a public place, there should be somebody who understands sign language that will be there, so in case there is a hearing impaired person around, that person can help to interpret. That time I went to our parent office and a hearing impaired man entered. He was trying to say something, and the man in charge say, how I take talk to this man now? Then I ask him, don't you people have interpreters here? You people know that hearing impaired people come to this place, there should be an interpreter employed in this place. It's not too much for government to do. If there is one, then as this man has come now, that person will be beckoned to come. Please come and tell us what he's saying. And it will be easier for them. Thank God the person that came is educated, so he was able to write. Supposing he wasn't educated, what would have been the result? Either the person will go without getting what he wants, or there will be a pandemonium because he might refuse not to go until he's answered. So we have to put all these things in place. I want to also suggest that in our nation we should start thinking towards inculcating sign language in our school curriculums. Yes, starting from kindergarten. What we learn foreign languages in our schools, we learn Latin, French, and so on. So what will be wrong if we include sign language? If everybody that is educated can sign, then this world will be a safer and very comfortable place for the hearing impaired. So let's make it compulsory that sign language will be learned in schools by everyone that wants to go to school, starting from KG. And children learn fast. When we start that thing from KG, before you get to higher institution, we all will be perfect signers, and it will be easy for all of us to integrate the hearing impaired in our midst. They can even walk anywhere because everybody will understand them. So let's think towards that, taking the bold steps in the right direction. When we talk about social exclusion, it is not only the disabled persons that are suffering from social exclusion, but I'm narrowing my discussion today to persons living with disability. But I want to let you know that discrimination is an evil wind that does not blow anyone any good. It must not be allowed to thrive in our midst. We must do everything possible to chase it far, far, far away from us. Like United Nations told us that in its 2030 agenda, no one, I repeat, no one should be left behind. And the only way for us to ensure that everybody is carried along in the scheme of things is to make sure that we institute a policy that carries everybody along on equal basis. It doesn't matter where you come from, the religion you belong, the color of your skin, the language you speak, your nature of your health condition. It doesn't matter. What matters is we are one and we coexist in unity. I might have a bad leg, but I have a sound mind. The things I know you might not know, despite your abilities. Everybody has area of strength and area of weakness. It is only when you give somebody a room that person will be able to showcase what he or she has inbuilt. So let's give everybody a level playing ground so that we can fully harness the potentials God has placed in every individual. The God that created us never makes mistakes, and he does his things his own ways, if only we will allow him to operate. So in every aspect of life, both social, economic and political, there must be a level playing ground. Equal opportunity must be given to every individual to participate in whatever sector he or she intends to participate. As regards persons with disability, they must give us our place in politics, in economic life and in social life. How? I think the only way and the best solution is to ensure there is a law put in place to protect the dignity, the rights and opportunities of persons with disabilities. I thank God for our country, Nigeria. Our president in 2019 signed into law the Discrimination Against Persons with Disabilities Prohibition Act, and that act is currently running with an implementation commission run by able, sound-minded disabled persons. Yes, and I'm grateful for that. About 9 or 10 states have followed suit by adopting and domesticating that act to run as law in their individual states, and are employing the remaining states, because we have 36 states in our country. The remaining states should follow suit and do the needful. What is good for the goose is also good for the gander. I also call upon the countries all over the world, anywhere where there is no legal framework running as to protect the rights and privileges of persons with disabilities, they should, as a matter of urgency, begin to think towards direction. Do the needful, because we are all created by God and we should live on equal basis. Like I used to say in my programs, disability can happen to anybody at any time, irrespective of your age, your status, your religion, or your ethnic group. Disability does not know that. Like the World Health Report said that everyone that is living on earth has the tendency of becoming disabled, either permanently or temporarily, in his or her lifetime. As far as you are living here on earth, the tendency for you to become disabled, either temporarily or permanently, will show itself one day. And when it shows itself, it now daws on you that what these people have been saying about putting structures in good form is for the good of all. Let's put things right. Even if you don't experience disability, help those that are living with it to live a good life. And you will say, tell me, you are saying all this, what is the solution? I have already said that we should enact a law that will protect the right, dignities and privileges of persons that are living with disabilities. The Nigerian government has done that. Some states have followed suit, and we ask the other states that have yet to adopt and domesticate the Disability Act to do so. Also, all over the world, every country where the law that is protecting disabled persons has not been enacted, the presidents of those countries should please, as a matter of urgency, begin to think towards enacting a law that will be sustainable and protective. A word they say is enough for the wise. Every week we come on this channel to speak on different issues concerning persons with disability. The intention is to create awareness so that people will know what is needed, what is lacking, and what should be sustained. Together we are going to make the world a paradise for all of us. All hands must be on deck. Remember, the United Nations says nobody must be left behind. Thank you once again for stopping by my channel. Remember to subscribe, turn on the notification, share, like, so that the channel will grow. With you, we make this happen. Together, we are going to hit the sky. Till we meet again, remain blessed and remain in the presence of the Most High God. Bye-bye.